Hello, everybody. Another round of the playoffs has commenced, and so it is time to do another video about what I think about the conference semifinals in each round, and talk a little bit about how I feel the rest of the playoffs are going to shape out. Now, in the first series in the Western Conference semifinals, we had San Antonio beating the Trailblazers in 5 games. There were a couple close games. There were a couple close games in which San Antonio won, and then there were a couple games where San Antonio won by double digits, and then the one game that Portland was able to win. Now, Portland, they're a good team, but I just feel like they were a little bit too young and inexperienced to make it any further in the playoffs this year. But I feel like in years to come, Portland is definitely going to be a team to look out for in the West for sure. Now, in the other Western Conference semifinal matchup, we had the Thunder beating LA in Game 6 in LA and taking that series to advance to the Western Conference Finals. This series was a very crazy, heart attack like series for me as a Thunder fan, actually. And every single one of these games was close, down to the wire at the end, and just nerve wracking as a Thunder fan. This series had me going crazy, almost had me with a heart attack twice. But the Thunder were able to pull it out, and we had in Game 4 the Thunder blowing that huge lead, 19-point lead, and in Game 6, 5, in Game 5, 5 and 6 actually, where LA blew double-digit leads in both games and self-destructing in the fourth quarter, specifically in the Game 5 loss, where Chris Paul wound up having 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter, which is the reason why the Clippers lost that game, not because of that call. Which, meanwhile, about that call on the Reggie Jackson, Matt Barnes fiasco thing, this is my take on that play. We all may not know who the ball went out of bounds on because that was close. It might have went out on Reggie Jackson. It more than likely did go out on Reggie Jackson, but it was a close play. And everybody, if you have eyes, you know Matt Barnes fouled Reggie Jackson on that play. So the refs know they missed that call, and it was a close call on who touched the ball last. So they gave the ball to the Thunder. Similar play happened last series in the Golden State series with LA. It's the same exact play, pretty much, for the most part. The foul occurred, so they gave the ball back to the offensive team. That's my take on that. But that call, LA fans can say they were robbed all they want. That call is not why they lost. Chris Paul was mental in the fourth quarter. He went crazy. Not even in the fourth quarter only. In the last minute of the game. He didn't accept a foul and let Westbrook steal the ball from him. And then he fouls Westbrook on the 3. Chris Paul, I love him to death. He's the best point guard in the league. But he is the reason why they lost that game. And probably potentially wound up losing the series. Not because of the refs. Because the refs in this series were terrible both ways every game. Now, going on to the East, we had the Pacers. The Pacers did wind up beating the Wizards in 6 games, and Miami wound up beating Brooklyn in 5 games. Um, I was actually surprised by the Nets not really putting up a fight against Miami. They put up a fight in the game they won, and they put up a fight in Game 5, where they only lost by 2. But the other games, Miami really just, I feel like they were in control the whole time. Now, with that being said, somebody needs to stop Miami. The East is making it too easy for them. Although the East is terrible, they can't. Miami swept and won in 5 games. This isn't good. Like, we are sick of Miami. If you are not sick of Miami, go somewhere. No one wants Miami to three-peat, except for the bandwagon Heat fans. But come on. We don't need this. We don't need a Miami three-peat. Somebody needs to beat them. Now, with that being said, Indiana in their series against Washington showed some good signs of improving as a team, especially Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert showed up in this series. He wasn't a bum. He had double-doubles in this series, and those were big. Hibbert was big in this series, and Indiana needs that against Miami. But the Pacers they're just so unpredictable. Not even only this season, this postseason, they've been so up and down and on and off and whatever else you want to say about it. And we just need them to beat Miami. I think everyone will be happy if Indiana beats Miami. Which I am still predicting. I am keeping my original preseason NBA Finals matchup with the Thunder going up against the Pacers. Nothing's making me change my mind now. These teams, although have proven that they might not make it to the finals, they have each done their part in surviving and advancing, which is all the playoffs is about. So I am still sticking with my original guns, sticking with my gut instinct, and sticking with the Thunder and the Pacers, and the Thunder eventually winning the finals. Now, I didn't go in depth about the West yet. Today, we found out that Ibaka will be out for the rest of the playoffs. It's pretty much a done deal for Ibaka, which is, it's unfortunate for the Thunder that 2 years in a row they have to get an injury to another key player in their offense, and especially probably their best defender, definitely their best post defender, best, get over help, get the block for us, Serge. So that's definitely a big loss. But although Serge Ibaka is a big loss, it's definitely not as big of a loss as Russell Westbrook was last year. Not downgrading at all how big the loss of Ibaka is, because that is a defensive presence we can't make up for. But the Thunder do have viable bigs that can come in and give them quality minutes. And Steven Adams, he's proven himself pretty well last series against the Clippers, and actually throughout this whole season. Steven Adams has been big. And Nick Collison, he's there. He's the hustle guy. He sets those charges. He's just good to eat up those minutes. He's always just a quality player in there. And even if we had to, we do have Hasheem Thabeet, who is just another big body that we can throw in there at Duncan to help slow him down, because you're not going to stop Tim Duncan. So I'm sticking with my guns, my gut instinct. Sticking with my original prediction that I have had since before this season started. Going with the Thunder and the Pacers in the finals. And the Thunder, despite the Serge Ibaka injury, winning it in 7 games in Oklahoma City. Oh, Oklahoma City Spurs. I am picking the Thunder, obviously, and I have them winning in 6 games. And with the Pacers and the Heat, I have, obviously, the Pacers, and I have them winning in Game 7 in Indiana since they so wanted home court this year, specifically for Miami for the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they just better. If there's a Game 7 in Indiana, they just better win it. Because that's what they played for this season. And if they don't, they're going to come out next year and I think just be demoralized by everything and demoralized by life. So, Thunder, Pacers, finals, Thunder winning in 6 in Oklahoma City. Let me know what you think about these predictions, which some people may think are crazy because I don't know, have my hope in the crippled Thunder and the always unpredictable Pacers. But let me know what you think anyway, and that's all I got for this. Okay, bye.